simple. I didn't need a fairy tale ending. Right now, I just wanted to regain my balance. And truth be told, Stryker wasn't looking for fairy tales either. I wasn't sure what he meant by that kiss. Stryker was his job. He was a highly effective operative dedicated to protecting national security. Everything was secondary. Everyone was secondary. Would I change that? No. Could I live with him? I tried before with Angel, and that ended about as badly as anything could end. If Stryker wanted a relationship with me, he'd want it on his own terms. He hadn't articulated his parameters to me, probably because he knew I wouldn't like them. I tightened the belt around my short wool coat as Stryker walked over to my side. His eyes caught mine. He tilted his head with that assessing look of his.
That's a curious expression, Lynx. What were you just thinking?
I smiled up at him. That the décolleté on this party dress might be a little inappropriate for Christmas morning. Stryker grinned.
You're probably right, but I'm not complaining. I think you're beautiful.
He planted a light kiss at my hairline, entwined his fingers with mine, and we walked toward the terminal. Even in my heels, Stryker's 6'3" frame towered above me. His Irish cable knit sweater and pair of 501s accentuated everything a girl could want accentuated. His assets weren't lost on the woman passing us, pulling her carry-on behind her. She turned to give his rear an appreciative glance, clearly enjoying the view. Pretty tactless. The man was holding my hand, and she didn't know we weren't a couple. In the waiting area, I shed my coat and paced in front of our seats. Wringing my hands, impatience and excitement made me hot and twitchy.
If you get any warmer, there isn't much left to shed, Lynx.
Stryker stretched out his long legs and slouched back in the hard plastic chair. It's Lexi. I don't use my call name when I'm off the clock. Stryker's eyes moved over my dress. The low-cut bodice showed off my full breasts and cinched tight at the waist, like a starlet from the 50s. I felt flirtatious and sexy when I danced at the party. The skirt ballooned out as I spun around, showing off legs toned from years of running and martial arts. What if he's late? Did you check and make sure he made his flight? I pulled my hair back into a ponytail to get it out of my face. I should take another peek at the board. Maybe there's been a delay.
That's fine. You go do that.
I focused down the hall where the flight board stood. I can't. I plopped down beside him. My feet hurt too badly.
I will never understand why a woman does that to herself.
You think my high heels are sexy, don't you? I straightened my leg for him to see.
Definitely.
And that's why I wear them. I kicked off my shoes. The cold floor eased the ache. I didn't care too much about propriety, since we were almost the only people at the airport. They make my legs long and my butt perky. I like dressing girly and pretty. Actually, looking young, cute, and approachable made my job a whole lot easier. Being discounted as a piece of fluff let me go places and do things that would normally set off alarms. Stryker wrapped his arm around my shoulders, pulling me to him.
I totally agree with the girly and pretty part, Chica.
He whispered into my hair. I pushed Stryker off me and jumped to my feet. Oh God, he needs our help.
Who does?
Stryker rose beside me, his eyes scanning the room for a threat.
What are you talking about?
I hopped on one foot, cramming my shoe onto the other. Stryker cupped my elbow to hold me steady. Spider, I heard him say it in my head. I tapped my finger to my temple as I came upright. Stryker's body shifted. His muscles tightened and the laughter left his eyes.
You heard this ESP-wise?
A disembodied voice over the loudspeaker announced Spider's flight was deplaning. I didn't bother answering Stryker. Of course ESP-wise. Why else would I be hearing voices in my head? I grabbed up my coat and purse and ran toward the security gate. The passengers coming up looked rumpled and droopy-eyed. I, on the other hand, was chomping at the bit, eagerly searching the crowd. Normally, Spider McGraw stood flagpole tall and thin, the contrast between his white teeth and